How to avoid wasting money on the wrong shade of base makeup. Hi everyone, today I'm going to give you my top tips on really getting the right shade of base makeup when you're shopping online at home. Tip number one, always look at your skin or test product in daylight, not the end of the day daylight, because that's always too golden, not direct sunlight, which is always again too golden and too yellow, but a morning light. So that morning light, when it's not first thing in the morning, but it's not become the afternoon, you've got that kind of even light. So stand next to a window where you haven't got, again, the sun pouring through. The ideal type of window, I know I'm being very specific here, but is something where the light kind of comes down onto your face, neck, and body. So not where you're kind of being lit from underneath or from a side. Everything is so evenly lit by as neutral a daylight as possible. I mean, that's my dream way of looking at skin. So the next thing to do is to have a really good look at your skin. You know, how many different tones you can see. If you have pigmentation, is there redness? If so, where is the redness? If you have patches of different tones, where are they? What do they look like? How does your face overall compared to your neck? Of course, your neck is always going to be lighter, particularly in the center, because this is a very shaded area. But very often you'll see a very light patch of skin here, then more of a sort of almost matching your face here, and then at the back of your neck it'll get much deeper, and that's where you have a whole other tone, because that's where your sort of body undertones are coming in. Also look at your chest area, and while you're there, just look at your arms, put your hands next to your face, and it'll start to become apparent whether you have a big disparity between your chest and neck, whether there's a big disparity between, well, most people, between neck and face, but also you'll start to see a little bit more how different your body looks to your face. So unless you're really, really lucky and everything is very even in tone, all of your face and your neck and your chest, I have met people like that, believe it or not, but they're very rare indeed. So most people will have different shades within their face, kind of an overall kind of tone that's more dominant, and then maybe looking at the body, it could be slightly different. So it's really just identifying that and really being clear. It's getting to know your own face, really. That's what you need to do. You need to be able to look at your own face in daylight and kind of have a good look at what's going on there. So when you do come to find your shade, sometimes it's also preference as well. And I absolutely find this with a lot of my customers, that I'll be chatting to people and saying, well, you know, that's your tone, but I can see that you have tan on your body, or that you use fake tan, or do you like to be a little more golden? Some people use some of my olive undertoned tints, for example. They're not necessarily olive undertone, but they find them really helpful for covering redness. So very often somebody that has got a bit of redness in their skin will not want to use a neutral shade, because they'll want to use something that's a bit more neutralizing. So something like an olive, which will neutralize the redness. So there is a certain amount of preference. And also on top of that, you do need to create a conversation, as I always say, between chest, neck, and face. And very often that will be that you're not matching your face exactly to your neck because it's going to be too pale, or you're not matching your face exactly to your body because it's going to be too deep, or, you know, there's different reasons for not wanting to make everything one color as well. So there is really that idea is to create something which is harmonious, so that when you look at your face, you see your chest, your neck, it feels like everything is harmonious. I think it's only when the undertone of a base or the depth of a base is really off compared to the body, when you really get that jarring look that it is, your makeup just doesn't look natural at all. And that's what we want to avoid. So I'm going to use myself as an example just to start. So looking at my skin overall. Now, of course, I've got the light bit there at the center of the neck, like everybody, which is lighter than most of my face. I also have different tones within my face. I have quite a bit of redness around my lip area and my chin area, and then other bits of redness. Really around the sides of the face is a bit less red, a bit more neutrally. But then when I go into my neck, undertones, and my body is definitely more on the yellow side. You'll be able to see it probably in my arms a lot. All of my body has this kind of more goldeny yellow. I actually prefer to go a little bit more golden on my face because it does two things. It helps to match with my chest, my arms, and the rest of my body, and the sides of my neck, which are also quite golden. But the yellowness in the tint, the goldenness, will also help to neutralize some of the red. So I'm going to show you the shade that I use, which is 6.5. And just to show you how it's a little bit lighter probably than here, but once it's blended in, I'm going to show you how it starts to neutralize that redness. I'll do it just on this side of the face, actually. It's giving that a really good shake. You only need a couple of drops of this tint. Please don't forget that. So this is definitely more golden probably than my face. If you were to hold that up, you'd be like, a bit too golden. But honestly, it's what really brings everything together for me. So it's working well there, but it's definitely helping to neutralize some of that redness. And if you can see now, the little bit of redness here and the redness, it's really taking that down. But having said that, it also is blending well into my neck. I haven't put any makeup on my neck because I prefer not to. And ideally, you want to find a base that you don't have to really make up your neck, unless you're someone that really likes to go heavy on the fake tan, and then you are going to have to even everything up. But if I was to put a little bit of this onto my neck now, it's just completely a great color there because it's blending in well with that yellow. And it's also pretty spot on for my arms. You can see my arms and hands. So we're starting to get a conversation here between my body, my neck, and my face. And it's also helping me in that it's neutralizing that redness. So obviously I knew that was my shade, so I just put the shade straight on, but just to demonstrate why I choose this shade and why it helps everything to blend really well for me. If you're starting from scratch, so for example, my team, if you're looking for a foundation or a tint, will often send you 3 or 4 shades because obviously, as I say, it's hard to tell from a photograph. So within your intensity, whether you're like medium, deep, or deep, we'll send you a few different shades, and those shades will have some different undertones in there. The best place, I think, to test is really about 1 inch in from the ear. The reason I don't test here is because the back of most people's necks are quite deep compared to the front, which is light, and the side, which is closer to the skin tone of the face. So I always test around about here, and I like to really blend it out. What you can't do with any of the formulations, most formulations, modern formulations, is put a thick layer on and expect to see the color. You're not going to see the color. You're going to see they're going to look much brighter, much more intense in terms of undertones, and that is definitely not the way to swatch. So how to figure out what your actual undertone is. So I've taken off all my makeup, and very often you'll find that you might see lots of different tones within your skin. Most people will, especially in daylight in a good mirror. But it's figuring out what the dominant tones are, because this will really help you with your foundation and your skin tint. I'm seeing a lot of sort of neutrally golden, so it's golden but not too yellowy, sort of neutral golden on my cheeks, on my body, my neck. And then I'm seeing a bit more of that kind of redness all around the center of my face. However, this is something I want to correct. So my overall predominant undertones are neutral golden. That's what I'm seeing for most of it. If you're actually a true neutral, then it's one of those skin tones where the warm and the cool tones, so the reds and the yellows, are kind of all intertwined, and it's all looking quite even. Not particularly red, not particularly yellow or golden, not particularly blue or green. You're seeing something which is almost more toned down. So if you imagine like you take down the vibrancy, and you're not really seeing much color, you're seeing something which is much more, neutral. So a bit of everything and not particularly any dominant shade. If you're an olive, again, there are different types of olive. If you're seeing those yellows, but they feel not golden, they feel more greeny golden, then you could be a warm olive. or if you're seeing that your skin is very desaturated, so you almost look like a green, grey, blue colour, that is a desaturated olive, and that's another olive undertone. If overall you do see a lot more gold in your skin, a lot more of those warm tones, the yellowy tones, then you are golden. As I say, it could be a neutral golden where you're a little bit golden, but you're still on the neutral side of things. And if you are looking at your skin and you're seeing a rosy undertone, so you're seeing the reds more dominant, maybe you have a lot of redness in your cheeks, a lot of redness, in your jawline, and in general, there's a lot of rosiness, then you're looking more for those neutral rosy tones. Now, in general, within my range of foundations, I don't do very pink and I don't do very yellow, even if I say I'm doing a golden or a pink, because I feel like real skin tones, you're not bright pink, even if you're rosy. No one is pink and no one is yellow. It's just a guide to help you when you're looking at your skin, you're looking at your body to say, yeah, I do see more of those golden tones. And this can change throughout the year. Obviously, you might be somebody that is very desaturated olive, or more of a sort of warm but desaturated olive in the winter that becomes very golden in the summer. Or you might be somebody that becomes very rosy in the winter. Your skin kind of gets more reactive. So it is good to check probably twice a year if your foundation is looking good, if your undertones are matching, and just really checking. Now, the other thing I was saying was my tint is very forgiving. You can usually find a couple of shades that will work. Again, preference will come into it. But if you were to put it on, same with most formulas, if you put makeup on like this, you don't you see the color, but not that well. So I'm always saying, if you want to really see a color, firstly, try a thin blended out bit on this section of your face and onto your neck. And if it looks pretty good, then try it all over the face. You really do need to try all over, because if something looks good in little half an inch here, it doesn't necessarily look good all over your face. I'll use an example for that. I'm going to use my tint number 5, which is very olive. I mean, I'm not an olive. I'm definitely not this green and olive. However, I could think, oh, that's good for my redness, because it actually is incredible for neutralizing redness, which is why I think a lot of rosy skin tones actually like neutral olive bases, because they act as a kind of good way in that they're quite neutral, but also they take down all of that redness as well. So you can see I could get away with that on my red areas, but I know that if I was to use that all over my face, against my neck, I would look too green-grey in the face, and then against my neck and chest, because I'm just missing those golden tones. I'll show you if I put a little bit more of this colour on. This is perfect for a desaturated olive. I'm putting way more than I would normally, but I just want to make a point. I start to look a little bit ashy, a little bit green, a little bit too olivey. You can see that. Another reason you can't put a thick, wet layer of any color, or any type of product, particularly modern day foundations and tints, is because what you're seeing is a reactive surface. So you're seeing something which is in motion, something which is moving until it's settled down. A good example of that would be this is shade 8, which is too golden for me. You can see I'm not as gold as that, which is why I do a 6.5, which is a neutral golden. But having said that, if I was to get tanned on my body more, I could actually make this shade work. If you can imagine, if I'd just come back from a holiday and I actually want to be more golden than normal, I haven't actually got any tan on my body at the moment, so maybe a bit on my legs, but when it's applied all over, it is actually, you can see what you can, which is why you have to try them in a thin layer all over, whatever you're testing out. Start with thin swatches on that area of the face and then blend all over. Now, for me, that's just a bit too golden for my neck. In the summer, if I want to be a bit more golden, I could push it to the golden shade, number 8. Okay, now I want to cover what to look for when you put your suggested shade all over your face. So this is my perfect shade, obviously my 6.5, but this wasn't the right shade for me. What kind of things would be coming forward? Firstly, something that looks too ashy. So if something just looks ashy, it's just too light. And that's nothing to do necessarily with the undertone. That could just be the shade is just too light. Or it could be that the undertone is more of a desaturated undertone and doesn't suit you. So if something looks a bit ashy, that's one reason to know it's the wrong shade. If you step back and you look at your face and you look at your chest, you look at your neck, and something just looks off, it could be that your face just looks too peachy or orangey or pinky, not with my shades, but in general, if you see like an oranginess in your skin, you've definitely not got the right shade, because no one should look orange and no one should really look yellow. It needs to be more nuanced, more subtle than that. So it needs to look like a skin tone, and it needs to look like your skin tone. And honestly, you don't need to be an expert to notice when it's off, because when it's really off, you will notice it, I promise you. So look at your neck, look at your chest, look at it in all daylight, and maybe if you can, leave it on for a little bit, just so it kind of settles in, and then come back, check yourself in the mirror, check then with the rest of your makeup. So if you usually use a couple of different shades, if you have deep skin and you really need to use corrector on pigmentation, or if you have a lot of under eye issues, then it's good to see the shade that you're considering with your usual makeup as well, because that really, really helps. I think that's why it gets difficult if you just run into store and you're buying something quickly and not really trying it, which is why it's good to get little pots to take home, or, you know, as I say, online with my customer service, we will send out little pots that you can just look at, even if the texture's not right, because it's coming in a little pot. You can just really get to put it over your entire face with your usual makeup and then look at that in daylight. But yes, they're the sort of obvious things to look out for, and they will pop out. They'll be jarring. If it's the wrong shade, it's jarring. So put the rest of my makeup on, and yes, I can see that with my usual makeup, this base still looks really harmonious and beautiful, nothing jarring, and this is a good match. Really works with my neck, really works with my body, and even if my arms were to come up, everything looks harmonious, which is the dream. Really, honestly, when you are looking for base, it's just worth spending that bit extra time, particularly, as I say, when you're buying online, which is how a lot of people buy now. It's just getting a sample, trying it out, really blending it, looking in good daylight, making sure it's the right time of day, giving yourself enough time, maybe do it at weekends, so you're not rushing as well. Or obviously, if you can go in store or work with a makeup artist, that's a whole different thing. But if you are at home, really just allowing yourself a bit more time to test the color, to blend the color out, to try it all over your face, and to try it with your regular makeup, because it's an expensive business buying base makeup. Certainly, I grew up in a household where we had a huge drawer in the kitchen that was full of base makeup. And when I got old enough, I said to my mum, "What's all this?" And she said, "Oh, they're all the wrong shades that I bought of foundation." And I was like, wow, it really made a big impression on me. So it is worth spending a bit of time analysing and getting the right shade for your skin. Hope that was helpful, and I'll see you soon.